Hey guys, Encore Performance here. This is going to be my first video. I'll be reviewing a replay against the Extreme AI on the classic map Black Forest. He will be playing as the Bulgarians, myself as the Incas. Let's start. In this game I was attempting the strategy of a tower rush due to the Incas' 15% discount on all stone buildings. Something else about the Incas is one of their bonuses is they're supposed to start with a llama for a quick source of food to help them out, but on this map it seemed that everyone kind of started with llamas. As the Incas, I cannot build any sorts of mounted units or gunpowder units, so instead of the classic Scout Cavalry, I have an Eagle Scout with +1 attack and +5 HP to make up for his slower speed. I'll be playing against the Extreme AI, which using its micro will be attempting to dodge my arrows throughout this match and to chase deer to his base. He's doing this because a deer has more food and a faster collection rate than a llama, even though the deer is less HP and looks half the size of a llama, and I'd put my money on the llama in a 1v1. Over here, we are being attacked by wild animals, and my Eagle Scout really isn't doing much. And these guys have just started to fight back, and I'm pretty sure this guy's name is Crocodile Dundee because he has a big knife and he took that many crocodile bites. Over here, we've just got a group of antisocial llamas, and oh, they're running away now. And a group of people not social distancing. I mean, 6 feet, guys, 6 feet. It's been a couple of months already, you know the drill. Whereas over here, he's got a wild zoo of animals. He's got boars, horses, deer, llamas, donkeys. I'm going to be sending these two villagers down here to attempt to wall them into a smaller area. That way I won't need to tower a large amount of the map, just a small area. These guys are going to have a look around his base while this guy's waiting for some wood to come in. As I've just started building a lumber camp, as I'm playing on a medium resources, not standard resources, I've got a bit more wood, but I decided to waste it on the buildings I thought I'd need in the future. But now that's coming back to bite me. I'll speed it up while we wait for our wall to come along. We're at equal villagers right now. Our wall is just started. I have one more villager. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know about it, does he? And no. He's got no clue it's there. And oh, he's found part of it. And he's coming in for a fight. And oh, he definitely could have taken that. He's a true coward. Look at him just running away on his horse. He'll be going up to feudal soon with the amount of food he's got compared to my lesser amount. My Eagle Scout's running around in circles trying to make himself noticed. That way I'm hoping he'll build a barracks as he should feel threatened. And I'll attempt to encase this barracks in palisade walls. We're going to be putting 3 on stone, and then as we get up to feudal, taking 3 or 2 off. Or leaving 3 or 2 behind. And here he's back for more, or no he's not. Running away once more. I thought that house was a barracks there for a moment, so you could see my Eagle Scout did a double take. I'll be researching loom, and then I'll be attempting to go at the feudal. And I'm sorry for the idle, guys. I was a bit focused down here. Got that 6 on stone I mentioned. And he'll be going up to feudal right away. And there's that barracks I mentioned, and these guys are going to head over to cover it in palisade walls. because should you do that, it becomes completely ineffective. You can't build units without them glitching. You can see here what I was attempting to do, but I'm used to playing against the hardest AI, which his villagers will only swarm out and attack you should you be attempting to build something threatening, such as a tower or a barracks, whereas the extreme AI will attack you no matter what you're building, which is what he just did here. And this guy's getting a little too close to the town center, and they saw. And that's the end of him, it looks like. I mean, good on him for taking that many arrows, though. This guy's headed out, because I don't want him to get hurt, and he already looks quite hurt, but I don't want him to get killed. My Eagle Scout's trying to have a go at his Scout Cavalry, as that Scout Cavalry's harassed me quite a bit. I'm gonna speed it up, because he's just gone up to Feudal, and hopefully I will be soon. And our Scout looks like he got either lost in a 1v1, or again got too close to the town center. He's coming up with an archery range here, and he'll be, if I'm guessing right from previous matches what he's done, he'll be trying to swarm the wall with skirmishers and archers to prevent me from tower rushing it. And my villager's seen that, and he does not want anything to do with that. So over here, he's starting to get that gold we wanted to stop him from. We are sending 2 villagers down as we're going up to Feudal Age ourselves. We have these 2 on berries, and they'll be headed down right away. And while my economy looks quite meager right now, it's going to improve slightly over time, and that's going to be all we'll need to win. As long as we can be quick about it. Speed is of the essence in this rush. At first, I'm going to be building my towers behind this palisade wall, as they actually have a minimum range until you get to Castle Age and research murder holes. So, once I have enough, though, I'll hopefully have a circle of overlapping fire, and I'll be able to slowly build them. That way, should they be attacked by night, the towers will kill the knight. Well, that tower itself can't do anything. I'm building some outposts here in a barracks, as if I can look into his base and see what he's building, then I can effectively counter his units, enabling me to sometimes win battles before they've even started. This barracks is I'd like to build a couple of Eagle Scouts to defend me from the knights or battering rams I'm predicting him to send out in Castle Age, which he should be going up to any minute now. I've reached Feudal Age, and I'm about to put down my blacksmith, that way I can get fletching, which will increase my tower's range by 1. What I'm doing here is I'm putting quite a few more villagers on wood, as you'll actually need a fair amount of wood for this rush, as should I get murder holes, that's 300 wood, 100 stone. My farms are going to continue to use wood as they redo. I'm going to need a university, and every tower actually costs 50 wood, and I just spent it all on a lumber camp. So these villagers will build a tower as soon as I have enough wood. We're so close. You can see the fletching I mentioned. This poor scout, he's just running around in circles. Or it's more of a square, really. Since the extreme AI is under pressure, he's resorting to ineffective gathering methods such as berries, and he's building watchtowers to keep these little areas of his economy functioning, as I can't attack this area or build towers without being shot in the process. He's going up to Castle Age currently, so we're going to expect to see some knights. And here comes our first watchtower to chase him off this gold here. Currently researching scale mail armor, which will increase my Eagle Scouts once they're built armor. It'll give them +1 melee, +1 missile. We're researching stone mine, which are going to make these guys more efficient. Coming out with our first Eagle Scout, a second, and I think we'll end up building a third. We're going to be building a tower here now that we have more than enough stone and a bit of wood to try and chase him off this gold that he's just discovered and is coming for. Sending 2 more villagers down. You can see we've got 8 villagers on wood, 6 on food, 2 on stone, and later on we'll be adding more if I want to drop a castle on him. We'll also be adding 2 more to gold, as we will be building a market. Should we need any stone, we'll be able to buy it. Here comes our first Eagle Scout. And here come our 2 villager reinforcements. Not that they're very threatening. This guy is going to make a quick attempt to hurry into here, and a very clutch play there. Just managing to build those walls up in time. For every second he builds a couple hundred HP, now allowing him to build a tower here, reaching even further into his base. And he's already starting to build those knights I mentioned. And a bug that they're going to be fixing in the next patch is currently, should an area be abandoned, towers will attempt to attack nearby buildings. And then when units return to this area, though, they won't prioritize the units. They'll continue to attack this building like it's doing here. So right away I'll manually click on the tower and then click on these villagers because they're being sneaky and coming back. I'm building a archery range here, should I want some skirmishers to counter the archers I thought he'd be building. And here comes my 3rd Eagle Scout. Another watchtower. Keep him out of chopping here. And his knights can't really do much now that I have all my towers coming up, except attack these little bits of palisade here, and even there, they're still being shot. How many towers do we have so far? We'll have 6 once these are complete. And you can see here, as they come up, and oh, his scout finally died. As my towers come up, his guys are going to run away. And as the Bulgarians, he has a 50% discount on town centers. So normally, instead of building the classic one, he'd build 4. But I don't think he actually had space to build the 4th. And it seems his knights have managed to sneak out. And we've got a couple more escapees coming over. And our Eagle Scouts countered those knights quite well, with ourselves only losing 1 very weak villager. And all these villagers sacrificed this guy. Yeah, the family games I play on Age of Empires have lots of sacrificing in them. I'd say we did quite good there. 2 knights and a villager of his in exchange for one of our very weak ones. He's given up building knights. Either he's run out of gold, or he's seen it's a futile attempt, and he's just gone back onto this gold, only have taken 40 of it so far. So my village is going to hurry down and try and wall this area in. You can see he's going to put a piece of wall there, and then this area will be secure. This is something you could never do in a multiplayer game, as the opponent could just delete his buildings should he wish. But against the extreme AI, I can use his buildings as a defense all I'd like, as he's very stubborn and will refuse to delete them. The only negative side to it is if I have enough towers, I'm actually going to take down the buildings I'm using, slowly but surely, in which case you want to make sure you fill in those gaps. Otherwise, you're going to have some guys knocking at your door, and they're not very happy. We're going to be building a market, then hopefully going up to castle. I'll just fast forward it for a moment, because nothing's really happening. Oh, as soon as I said that, this guy's going to hurry in and build himself in here to try and get all of these guys off their wood. Just quickly building their 71 HP in less than a second. And I noticed there was actually a small gap in there I couldn't see, so this guy's come back to fix it. 2 villagers coming down here, and I'm going to use this for part of my wall, as the gold is really helping out there, and I just like to extend my grip onto his base. This guy's seen the towers, decided he wants no part of that, and he's headed over here to get all of these guys off their economy. And that's what, 11, because this guy's mine. He's hurried in here and he's built this tower to prevent him from gathering any stone to build more of his pesky defensive towers. The only good thing about his towers is he hasn't had time since he's under pressure, so his towers only actually have 8 range. compared to mine have 9 range and deal 1 more damage than his, as I've been getting my upgrades, and I'm hoping to increase that to 10 range once I reach Castle Age, which I've started to go up to. You can see I'm confident enough with my circle of overlapping fire that I'm starting to build a watchtower in the center open here, and you can see his villagers coming to stop me, and as they get shot they turn around. I don't have very much stone now, so once I go up the castle, I'd like to put some more here and hopefully get a castle on them. Down here, we've built a second watchtower, as this one couldn't cover all of that ground and he is locked onto a building. I am researching padded archer armor here, which would give these more attack, and if I had any archers, increase their attack. Just got up to castle and I'm building a siege workshop to either use mangonels and scorpions for defense, or offense I suppose, and battering rams to try and take down his town center's archery ranges. Again, I'm confident enough with these towers here that I feel I could build one here just out of his range, so hopefully my tower will be able to snipe his undisturbed. I am researching Eagle Warrior, which is going to increase these guys' attack and health and give them a fancy new wardrobe. Here I've built walls around these just to stop it from any battering rams from doing any real damage, and this in itself is almost an impenetrable wall, because this is 1800 health, and then the watchtower itself has 1000 health, plus the watchtower is going to be firing on the battering ram almost the entire time, along with these joining in, and my Eagle Warriors would come out and help. And he started with the night production again, so I'm going to assume he's been selling at the market. He currently says he doesn't have any idols, but I'm not so sure about that when we look here. And right here, we've got a villager coming through his base, making a mad dash, and oh no, the knight's seen him. That's the end of him. Meanwhile, over here, we have a bit of a celebrity situation with our pop star being swarmed by all of his fans. I assume they want his autograph, and the hater comes in, and that's the end of it. It seems all of the fans have gone in a strike to protest against this terrible crime. Over here, we're beginning to chop some wood, as a bit extra really couldn't hurt. And we're going to build a university here, hopefully to get murder holes. You can see I've added 4 more back onto stone, and eventually they'll be coming down as I just lost 2. But I want them here until I get enough for a castle. If we look down here with these 2 here, and all of this here, the only real work area he has is actually right here, which is 7 guys working. And 5 of those are on farms, and 2 are on wood. Our universities come up. We're getting double bit axe, which is just going to make our villagers more efficient chopping wood. He's coming out with another knight. And we have enough for a castle now, so we'll be seeing these guys going down any moment. Speed it up for a second. And they're going to create a little bowl here for their castle, as once they have completed this bowl, they'll go inside and use the castle itself as part of a wall. And I was hoping this knight wouldn't notice me, but it seems he did. This guy's gotta run. Run, Forrest, run! Run! Doesn't seem he ran fast enough. This guy's gonna get away just at the cost of his friend's life. He's gonna hop into the tower and let these guys do their job. He's gonna go back in and try and complete the tower himself. He's going to quickly build the castle first, just getting up to 100 HP in moments. Then he's gonna finish off his bowl, and then finish off the castle. This knight thinks he's almost done it. The castle HP is dropping. He can manage it, but then the villager comes along, and it starts increasing. The towers start shooting him. And this knight realizes he doesn't have a very good job, does he? Over here, we gain Bodkin Arrow, which will increase our range on our towers and castles by 1 more, and a battering ram to attempt to take out his archery range, and at this time, he actually had quite a large amount of wood. And he thinks he still has these 49 villagers are all on wood, but I've been trying to convince him they aren't. We are researching Squires and Arson, which are going to make our Eagle Warriors 10% faster and have plus 5% damage versus buildings. Here they're trying to lure knights and villagers away to finish them off. And while they are good against knights, villagers, and battering rams and a good raiding unit, they don't fare so well against arrows. Just ask that guy. Battering ram's taken down the archery range and it's going to move on to these stray buildings. That way I should hopefully be able, since I have enough stone, to drop another castle in here. And this guy's castle is really coming along. He must be working double shifts or 24/7. I don't know if he's even stopped to sleep. Definitely going for his Christmas bonus. We're going to be building a monastery here and a monastery here just to start fetching relics from around the map. This monastery should theoretically have been built closer to the relic, as the monk's going to have quite a long walk. Hopefully he'll get his Fitbit goal in for the day. And the second castle is coming up. And this first one's gone up and you could just see the villagers being mowed down. We're going to be building petards here, which are an excellent shock unit. They deal 25 damage to adjacent units and 800 damage to all nearby buildings, and they're a bit of a one-use unit, as their only attack is blowing themselves up, and as you'll see here, but they're extremely effective against buildings, and your opponent can't do much to counter them. Since I'm so close, I can get away with sending them in one at a time, but in a regular match, if you hadn't had this good of a start, I assume you'd send in a battering ram first to soak up arrows and then send in 10 or 20 in a large group. You'll notice I keep throwing my Eagle Warriors in here as they're very slowly healing, but I am researching herbal medicine here to fix that because that'll cause them to heal 6 times faster. And you can just see the damage that petard does. And as soon as this town center gets below 20% of its HP, villagers are going to be forced to evacuate, and then the tower will get them. Towers and castles. And once a building goes below 20% HP, all of the villagers are, as I said, ejected as they're forced to evacuate, and the arrows from a town center are actually generated from the villagers inside. So if there aren't any villagers inside, the town center is safe to go around. So if you can get a town center low enough, its military part is neutralized. You can see our monk's a bit confused about what he's supposed to be doing. I think this alligator sent him into a state of shock. We're bringing another villager down just to help out with our tower rushing, and it really seems we're doing well here. We're getting almost complete control of his base, but then a sour note as he used his villagers to take out our battering ram, a move one of my family members very much enjoys to do. So they do quite well against it, each one dealing 3 attack and a very quick attack rate. We've built this watchtower here just to make sure he stays off all of these nice farms. We are building 6 more petards, 3 from each castle, so they'll be built twice as fast. And we're going to be using them to wipe out this tower and town center, because the rule is generally 5 for a town center and 2 for a tower, but you only need 4 to neutralize a town center. So once the town center is neutralized, I'll tower it. And this monk's finally figured out what he's doing, and he's running away from this crocodile as fast as he can. Which is quite good considering he's carrying a very large amount of gold. And you can see here he actually only has 17 villagers left, So, oh well, my economy might have looked pathetic at the start. It's doing a lot better than his now. You can see with herbal medicine, our units healing 6 times faster. You can actually watch them healing. It's so quick. We're going to be sending in another battering ram right away, but this time we're going to have our Ego warriors defending it. And there go the petards. We're going to use a villager to micro to soak up the arrows, hopefully dodging them all. And he still hasn't been hit. Oh, he got hit once there. A dodge. A dodge. Ooh. Look at those moves. And bam. There goes the tower, 2 as I said. And the town center is now neutralized. No villagers being allowed inside. We're going to be building a watchtower to try and prevent his men from repairing this town center. I'll speed it up while we wait until our next assault. We're going to be using these 2 monks, as I've just researched redemption, to try and convert some of his buildings. And he was actually sneaky here and managed to repair his town center enough to garrison it again, even well under town center fire. Tower fire. I am towering this stone, as town centers actually require stone to be repaired, so if he can't mine any, he can't repair them anymore. Here comes a battering ram again with these 4 headed for this town center, which is actually weaker for my constant arrow fire. And this time we're sending in Eagle warriors to defend the battering ram. These villagers don't seem to get it. They think they're just doing their job of taking it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure they miss these guys. You just look for them, you know, they're the big tall ones with white feathers, big pointy spears, screaming in Aztec at you. Eagle warriors were actually originally Aztec, but they gave them to all the American civilizations just to compensate for cavalry. You can see here his villagers have been ejected once it reached low enough, and he's got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And as I mentioned, he's extremely stubborn, so we're going to try and convert his last 2 buildings by doing a weird dance in front of them instead of just walking in through the front door. Yeah, those monks were always a bit rattled. Once we have those 2 buildings, though, it'll be game over for him, victory for me. As you can see, we've just managed to convert the stable, and now we've got the market. And that's game. I'm really not sure about these little pockets. I think Forgotten Empire should definitely fix that, because as you increase the map size, you get these little areas spawning with plenty of good resources, all trapped off for you being unable to reach them, which basically means whoever reaches them first gets a huge boost for the game, and it means you're going to be spending a lot of wood chopping in really vulnerable areas. I think maybe they should have small little paths in to cause intense fighting areas, but I don't think it should be completely isolated. You can see it all started with that palisade wall, and from there just a couple of towers, and as long as you slowly move along, it's an easy win. Okay, we'll take a look at statistics first. Largest army, 12, I suppose petards count then. Good economy. We only got 22% of our research, but those were the 22% were all for economy or tower related. And that's all we needed to win. You can look at the timeline. Each one of those little flat bits or dents is a tower being placed. And then right here, he was doing quite well. And as soon as the castle was placed, you could just see the descent. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks.